Hello everyone, this is Baduk, and today we're going to be playing on Fox, I guess. It's going to be our 42nd game. We're getting up there in a lot of games here. I just think 6 more games before we can double rank up, which is pretty cool. Go Congress is coming up. I think it'll be flying out, I think it's like next weekend, so this will be kind of fun. It'll be my first Congress. And so, yeah, I hope everything goes well there. And I have some plans that I really want to sort of work on. I've been really brainstorming a lot of ideas for videos and how I want to use YouTube Shorts and my live streams and everything. So we'll see if we can get that all figured out. But let's go into this and play a normal basic game here on Fox.
Start to play.
So we got a game already, and they're actually playing a move. Let's see if we can get through the entire thing. Let's do 2-4-4s, since that's what they're doing. Sanrin Say. Okay. Just going to play a basic approach and see how they respond. Because you don't really have a specific way to play against this opening until after they've played a move. In this case, it looks like they're going to pincer. That is very interesting. So the basic way to play this is just to attach and take advantage of the situation right away. Want to extend, cut, extend. We can Atari, then we can Hane, and Atari, and Tiger's Mouth. This move is extremely slow. If I do respond to it, he should Tanuki right away. But if I don't respond to it, the follow-up is actually quite large. So I will respond. And then I will take the base away from the stone on the top, because that's the next most important thing. I want to push this stone towards my strength here. I'm not sure the best way to do it, but let's go with the third line. Third line is better for getting rid of the base completely. The better way to build here is to jump up on the left side, or to do this knight's move. But I could also try to defend this weaker side as well. But I think I want to jump here first. Sort of force him to jump out towards the center. This is an extremely questionable move. So when I block here and do this Tiger's Mouth, I'm basically connected up with the other side. So this is a little bit weird, but I'm going to do the peep first and just play a shape move for my group. This is threatening to surround, but it's mostly just shape here. I want to make sure there's nothing that's ever going to really be a problem. And then here, we want to attack him from the center. So if we just back off like this, it's only building strength for my group here. We could attack with the knight's move. That's possible. But I want to prevent him from moving towards the center as best I can, so the cap is often the best way to do that. Oh, he resigned. I guess we should just get into another game then. But let's look at this really quick, just so I can show you why this was not necessarily a great idea. The review board's not going to pop up correctly, and then I'm going to have to fix it. There we go. And now it's all good. But if I play this move here, the only real move to fix the group or to run towards the center is to play in the elephant's eye here. But I don't have to worry about the group on the right side. So I can focus entirely on building all the points on the left side. I could respond here and then just keep surrounding. Now, black does have an ability to make an eye on the top here, because there is a lot of attachment and Aji. But you see all this that I'm potentially making on the left side, and this group is weak, so it's difficult for him to make a lot of points on the right side. His only points are in the corner. This is why this ended up being a mistake. But that was like 2 seconds. So let's get into another game.
Start to play.
Okay. And they are playing right away. Let's see what they do. All right, we're just going to do 2-4-4s again. They're doing 2-3-4s, which should be fun. And a weird extension here. I'm going to play high, just because I've been liking the high approach lately. It doesn't really matter too much. And this is kind of weird, but we will just do the outside position here. Black can attach. Oh, that's interesting. Black could attach and take a larger corner, but now I could do something like that instead. In this case, I have potential towards the center, so I think I want to block on this side. This tiger's mouth gives me a really large, a really large amount of influence facing the center. So I'm just going to play this very basic variation. I think I will just enclose my corner and not worry about anything else. The typical follow-up, he should extend. He's not extending, which means there are cutting points, so I can Hane. I think that was a little bit of a mistake, but it is now I can extend here, giving me more influence towards the center. Making my group very strong as well. We do want to block this, just so he has a potential weak group for us to attack, and we can go very simple and pressure it from the outside. If we want to, we could play this peep, so let's play it, because he can't cut right away, and then we fix our cut. So he might want to turn because of that. And I could actually bring this stone out, but this group is potentially weak, so we don't want to start a fight in this area necessarily. So I think it would be a good idea to just go to the bottom left or to take the bottom right corner. I think we'll start with just the bottom left here. Playing low just because I'm varying it up. I could play high. Either one's fine. I'm just going to attach and settle my group right away. Oh, that made it very easy for me. Okay, I will do a Hane and connect. This gives me enough space to be alive here. And it should be in Sente, as he did respond. He could build this left side. And it's fairly big. So I wouldn't mind doing something about it if I can. But I think I'm just going to worry about my own stones for now. Let's jump towards the center here to make this group very strong and to build our area. Playing a little bit high. There is a push and cut potential. But we're just going to attach in the corner and see how he responds. Very good. Means I get a very nice amount of territory here. And that strengthens my position in a nice way. So he probably should play this forcing move here, but it's kind of awkward for him. And now we definitely need the outside position. Block. And I'll just extend once. I guess I'll extend again. I'm just going to turn this into territory. He could have gotten away with a little bit more over here. There is Aji with these 2 stones potentially getting captured, and my group does have some weakness. So I think I will attach here and see if I can get anything. There is a Hane here. He has to Atari from the other side. He can't Atari here. Because I could Atari, he captures, and then I capture this, which would capture the corner. So that's a very simple way to handle. And then the corner is just dead because this is the L shape. I guess he can threaten to connect up with this group, but I can just play empty triangle. We just throw in. And Hane. This is the classic, very classic shape. And this Atari here, and it's dead. Even if he captures here, I just connect, and there's nothing for me to worry about. He also doesn't have very many liberties. That's why the L shape in the corner is very good to know. So now my group here in the center is very strong. This group here is basically alive. And this group here has a little bit of a connection issue, so I could try to defend that side. But I think we should need to attack from the center first, because he doesn't have a base here. So just going from the center seems like a good idea. Just block should be okay. Still doesn't have a base yet. I like the idea of taking away the tiger's mouth because it's threatening to cut through. and then defending our cutting point here. It's very important. Then when they play the knight's move, the proper response is always to just do, well, not the knight's move. When they play the elephant eye, the proper response is always the knight's move. You never want to push. Now you should read it out, of course, but you should try to not push. We can just play in here, threaten to cut off the stones. I am fine with that. Let's just extend. And I'm fine with just playing the Hane. We should need to keep our groups connected. That's the only thing that really matters. I think it's fine to just capture these stones and not worry about anything else. He can live here, and we can just play very simple. Though that does not necessarily live. Something like this is the vital point. The vital point of 3 stones is the middle. If he blocks, I'm able to kill the 3 stones, which gets rid of his eye shape. If he blocks here, then I'm able to pull back, and he doesn't have 2 eyes anymore. So he should have played this move himself. Yep. So we can just cut here, and now these stones are dead. We can just connect. This game is a little bit over now. Of course, he did make the reading mistake in the upper left, but this invasion was a little bit too much, and he should not have tried it. I think going after the cutting points that I had was a little bit more important. We can just push through and block here. That should be perfectly fine. We just want to stay connected. Now, the problem with this is an Atari. Even if he pushes through, that is also an Atari. So it doesn't quite work. The shape is just a little bit too bad. This is the power of the Hane at the head of 2 stones. Sadly, he also can't do this one because I can capture, which puts him in Atari. So even if there was a cutting point, it doesn't really matter now. And he resigns. Okay. We got 2 fairly quick games for this one. But now we've finally reached at least the 10-minute mark. So it's not a really, really short video. Let's look at this game really quick. Let's see where he sort of went wrong here. Now, I may not actually have to fix the review board this time. There we go. So let's look at the upper left really quick. So what I was talking about in the upper left was that he needed to play the jump here. This is the proper shape. And this is actually a shape thing that I've seen quite often. People will play the 2 space instead of this 1 space jump. When you have this Hane at the head of 2 stones, you always want to play a 1 space jump if you're going to be jumping over to the side. There is Aji here with this push and cut. It just depends on if this works for me or if this works for him. For example, it's possible that I might not be able to just capture this stone here. Not that move. There we go. I have to turn at least 1 time, then capture. Maybe I can live very small here, but then he's able to be the first one to come towards the center and potentially attack my group. Whereas with this 2 space that he played in the game, this attachment is supporting my group in some way. You could try to make it similar by doing something like this, but it's similar in the wrong way because there's too much Aji here because of ladders and such. Now, it all depends on what else is on the board, and it looks like in this case, if we do ladder this out, I probably don't win. So I have to do something on the bottom first, but there's a lot of Aji if he tries to play this way. So if he Hane's over here, this is where I'd probably want to see if I can get anything on the bottom. Some sort of attachment, right? And at the very minimum, I can just push and get a little bit of extra strength in the center to go back and try to do some sort of attack on the top. So this ends up being a little bit difficult because his only real option, I think even here, I can cut. So it's a little bit awkward overall because I might be able to capture these 2 stones. If I can do that, my group is fine and I can go on the offensive and not worry about anything else. And that would actually break up quite a lot of his points. That's why it's a very, very important shape with these 2 stones, with the Hane at the head. Even with this extension here, It's the 1 point jump either high or low depending on the cutting points. You never want to play 2 spaces unless you really read it out first. It's a very common mistake, so I really wanted to talk about it a bit here. Apart from that, he made a mistake in the corner, giving me the advantage, which makes it difficult from the rest of the game. And today, instead of talking about the Patreon, I wanted to mention my streams. I'm streaming now on YouTube, trying to do 3 days, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Of course, next weekend during Go Congress, and the weekend after probably, I won't be streaming because I'll be at Congress, but maybe I'll be able to upload some sort of information, some sort of content during that time. Who knows? But you guys should definitely check out the stream this Friday. I want to see how many people will actually watch on YouTube compared to Twitch. So yeah, definitely do that. And if you want to support any of that, you should definitely check out the YouTube membership. If we end up getting enough people watching the streams on YouTube, I'll be expanding the YouTube membership options. I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you guys had fun.